My Heart in My Hands. Presentation 3, Physical Activity. What do you do to make your body move? Is there anything in your life that prevents you from being physically active? What exactly is physical activity? The National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute defines physical activity as any body movement that works your muscles and requires more energy than resting. Sedentary behavior involves low-energy activities completed while sitting or lying down, except for sleeping. For instance, watching TV, sitting at a desk, driving, or surfing the internet. Is there a difference between being physically inactive and being sedentary? Absolutely. Physically active individuals, who are also sedentary, are known as active couch potatoes. Being a couch potato is a harmful lifestyle choice and a serious health risk. Research shows that inactive Canadians face an increased risk of obesity, cardiovascular disease, cancer, diabetes, and other serious diseases and illnesses. Even people who achieve health benefits from being regularly physically active are still affected by the negative health consequences of being sedentary. We must spend more time being physically active and less time sitting. If you haven't been physically active, be sure to check with your doctor first. Physical activity is almost always healthy. The question is, what activity is best for you? Ask your doctor to recommend activities that suit your age, fitness level, and general health. Also ask if there are any activities you must avoid. Being physically active is not limited to a gym. There are a variety of ways to attain adequate levels of physical activity that you may not have considered. For instance, raking leaves or mowing the lawn, dancing, organized sports, playing with children or grandchildren, going for a walk, cleaning. Women ages 30 to 65 should accumulate at least 2.5 hours of moderate to vigorous intensity aerobic physical activity every week. How much are you getting? If you don't always have a large amount of time at one sitting to dedicate to aerobic physical activity, the guidelines say that blocks of just 10 minutes are enough. What exactly is aerobic physical activity? Activities that make you take deeper breaths and cause your heart to beat faster. You'll often hear people refer to these activities as cardio. Cardio strengthens your cardiovascular system. Choose an aerobic exercise that you enjoy, such as jogging, biking, swimming, gardening, shoveling. If you exercise at a moderate intensity, you rate your effort as a 5 or 6 out of 10. Your heart rate increases, you sweat a little, and you are able to talk, but not to sing. When exercising at a vigorous intensity, you rate your effort as a 7 or 8 out of 10. Your heart rate increases a lot, and your body likely produces more sweat than moderate intensity. You won't be able to say more than a few words without losing your breath. Keep in mind that fitness level varies from person to person. Although two people may be doing the same activity, it may require a vigorous effort from a less fit person. So can you spare 10 minutes? Including physical activity in your daily routine can be as easy as getting off the bus one stop early, biking to your destination rather than driving, parking further away from buildings and stores, taking the stairs, avoiding the drive-thru. Instead of socializing at a restaurant, go for a walk. Dr. Catherine Vardy, a local chiropractor and Exercises Medicine Canada professional, also suggests standing up instead of sitting down as much as possible at work. Here is Mike Wall, Managing Director of Definitions Health and Wellness and medical researcher at Memorial University. He will further explore physical activity.
Hi, my name is Mike Wall, and I'm Managing Director of Definitions Health and Wellness. I'm also a medical researcher at Memorial University, and a lot of my focus has to do with women's health and endocrinology. People not having time for physical activity is one of the biggest issues. And I think that one of the reasons why is that in the popular media we're told we have to be fanatical about it. So we have to go to the gym all the time, we have to work out and sweat and be like a Gatorade commercial, and that's not relevant for most people. What we found actually in my research is that sometimes less is more. So if somebody's starting out for the first time and they start exercising and it's very moderate, they actually get more of a benefit from that because their body isn't under stress. If your body is dealing with an external stress from exercise and then it's trying to recover and you're constantly beating it down and it hasn't had a chance, like almost like cement to cure, then you can't build a strong foundation. So at the end of the day, for most people, it's fit in what you can, wear your cleanest dirty shirt. If you can get out for a walk around the block, instead of driving to the mailbox, you can go walk to the mailbox. If you can go for a walk in the mall and park a little further away, you can take the stairs instead of the escalator or the elevator. These are all things that make a big difference. And the other aspect people forget about is play. So people always have family, there's kids around. Like every time you can get out and play and do something you enjoy, whether that be a group setting with a class of people or that be some sort of recreational activity, then those are also exercise. Load-bearing activities are extremely relevant when it comes to women. They're part of the Canadian Physical Activity Guidelines, and the reason why is that bone density becomes a big issue for women as they age. As women reach menopause, they have lower levels of estrogen, which protect against osteoporosis, but it also protects against cardiovascular disease. So as women stop producing it, the risk goes up. The problem is that these risk factors don't exist as they're younger, so a lot of the time exercise isn't incorporated into the daily life cycle, which means that as they get these risk factors, they're trying to build a strong cardiovascular base, which is significantly harder later on in life. One of the aspects that becomes really important is having a healthy lifestyle throughout life. And sometimes people only start to address health and exercise when these risk factors become apparent. So we always recommend to follow what's called the 7 habits. And habit 1 is have a plan. So no matter what your health goals are, you have to know where you're going. So that'd be a plan on how to eat right or how to exercise. But regardless of what it is, you have to make sure you know what you're doing and how you're going to do it. So we say habit 2 is eating right. We can't underestimate the importance of the foods we eat and how they build the structures we have in our body. Habit 3 is resistance training. There's lots of ways you can get resistance training, and that's simply when you use your muscle against an external force. Lots of ways. That could be yoga, it could be stretching, it could be resistance training, and it could simply be going for a walk and having load bearing in your heel from your foot hitting the pavement. Habit 4 is cardiovascular exercise, and cardiovascular exercise is extremely important when it comes to heart and stroke because it builds a stronger vascular system, which allows you to have more elastic veins, which keep your body under less pressure, but also it builds new roads and new veins to active tissue because you're trying to pump blood throughout your whole body. Habit 5 is rest and recovery. A lot of the time when people start to exercise, they do too much. And our research has shown that sometimes doing less is more. So when you're first starting out, do what you can and progressively get more aggressive when it comes to exercise as you adapt to it. Habit 6 is hydration. Hydration is really important because thirst is often confused with hunger. So people have trouble eating healthy because they're hungry, but sometimes they're just thirsty. Also, all the reactions in the body take place in water, so having a proper level of hydration in the body is going to help all the functions in our body work efficiently. Habit 7 is achieve your goals and set them higher. So when it comes to health, you should never just achieve your goal and then stop from there. You should constantly be building on it because we can always improve our health no matter what stage of life we're in. So again, once you achieve your goals, make sure you set a new plan of action and take all the steps we just talked about to get to the next level. I just encourage all the women out there to improve their health and take their heart in their hands. And also before they start any exercise program, be sure you consult your physician to make sure you're doing things properly and it's going to be safe for you.
As Mike mentioned, bone strengthening activities are especially important for women as they age. Guidelines for adults aged 18 to 64 explain that women should perform muscle and bone strengthening activities at least twice a week. What is strength training? Strength training involves strengthening the muscle and bones when you work against resistance. It involves lifting, pulling, and pushing. Dr. Vardy explains that a major cause of pain and dysfunction is weak muscles, and that simple strengthening exercises can actually help reduce muscle and joint pain. When planning your physical activity, try to also incorporate flexibility activities. These will keep you limber, help to relax muscles, and keep joints healthy by ensuring your body bends and stretches. Activities that promote flexibility include yoga, stretching, Tai Chi, yard work, even vacuuming. When planning your exercise, try to include aerobic physical activity, muscle strengthening, and flexibility activities. For women ages 65 plus, it is also beneficial to add physical activities that improve balance amongst those with poor mobility. Active older adults tend to maintain their independence much longer than those who are inactive. This is because they can more easily perform basic day-to-day activities like walking, bending, stretching, and carrying. Some possible activities include standing on one foot, standing on your toes, yoga, exercises that will strengthen your abdomen. If physical activity is so beneficial, why are many women not getting enough? Is it because work is too busy? Well, make the time. Monitor your daily activities in order to find available time slots that you can use to be physically active. You may say, my children use up all my time. Well, incorporate your children into your physical activity. They need it just as much as you do. Or is it that you just can't seem to get motivated? Well, seek family and friends for support and motivation, and ask them to be physically active with you. Incorporate physical activity into your social activities. Maybe you're simply too tired. Well, identify the days of the week and the times of the day when you feel most energetic, and be active then. Physical activity actually increases your energy levels. Set physically active goals and track your progress towards achieving them. And celebrate when you reach your achievements. Perhaps you are afraid of injuring yourself. When increasing your physical activity levels, remember to do so gradually. Build up slowly, especially if you have been inactive for an extended period of time. One rule of thumb for preventing injuries is the rule of 10. The rule of 10 is to increase the duration or intensity of any activity by no more than 10% at a time. This rule applies to all activities. If you experience pain when increasing your physical activity level, go back to the level that you feel comfortable with for a while before trying again. Include rest days or gentler activities to help yourself recover. So listen to your body. Your health will benefit greatly from engaging in moderate intensity physical activities. Physical activity is a lifesaver, cutting the risk of heart disease almost in half. It doesn't have to be expensive, and you don't need a gym membership or the latest gear to be physically active. But you may have to dress for our weather. Many people let their physical activity programs slide during the long cold winter months. But cold weather doesn't have to send physical activity into hibernation. Try swimming at indoor community pools, general skating, indoor walking tracks, skiing, or other activities that you enjoy. Make physical activity something that you look forward to doing, not something that you are dreading. There's something to get everyone moving and active. Every little bit counts, and it doesn't have to be complicated. Do it for your loved ones. Do it for your cardiovascular health. Do it for you.